My name is Darryl Flemming, and I'm running for the office of City Council for District 1, the Arlington area. One of the reasons I'm running for City Council is because I think that I know that I can make a difference in the city by one of its governance. The city is going through a trying time. We have problems in safety out there. We have problems in accountability. We just tend to have a lot of areas that need a little bit of attention to, or a lot of attention to. I think I'm one of the people that could actually step up and make a difference in the areas that we have. We're trying to better ourselves in Jacksonville for the quality of life. The only way we can affect quality of life is get things like our budget under control, things like our public safety areas under control, as to making everybody accountable for what they do, or the part that they play in the pie here. I think I can do that. I can get up there, I can work with my colleagues, find out what is happening up there and what needs to be done, and do it. The other part about it is that I've always been one of those citizens that said, let me know what's going on. I'm not sure that I ever get back the answer to what's going on before there's a tax increase or some fee gets increased. I want to be the representative to represent my district that goes back to our people and say, hey, this is why we did that. And, or, what are you willing to accept that we do, in our city to make it better, make our quality of life better?
Okay, now let me ask you first question, which is, what do you consider to be the core functions that local government needs to perform for its citizens?
Well, one of the core functions that we need to is address the needs of the citizens. Security, that's safety and protection. We need to make sure that they do have good places to live. That's probably at the top of the core function. The other thing is, in governance, we have to make rules and policies so that everybody can live peacefully and that things can get done. So that would be one of the main things there, to lead our people, to provide service to our people.
Okay, now, as concerned taxpayers of Dedeaux County, we're obviously very interested in what savings can be found in the upcoming city budgets. And if you can be specific about what areas and programs you think you can find savings in, such as the Jacksonville Journey, the JEDC, Children's Commission, Cultural Council, special events, and of course the largest item in the budget, which is public safety. So if you have any specific ideas as to how there could be savings derived from those things, please let us know.
One of the things I'm about is not making snap decisions without actually investigating the facts. One of the things that and when I answered the questionnaire was that, wow, there's a lot of areas here. But based on the studies that I did, I went back for 7 years budgets, and I looked and I tried to find areas that I thought we could save on. I really couldn't find a specific area without doing one or two things. One of those areas is, if we reduce city government, then we put people out of work. If we privatize, then we go back and we actually add people, put people back to work, but we don't do it in city government. So one of the areas that I think that we could probably save in is not a particular area, but it's on pension costs. We have we need to take a look at our pension system and see just how that's actually, how we pay it, what we do, and how it's going to affect our citizens in the long run there.
Which actually segues into your question.
What do you believe is the solution to the city employee pension problem, and what steps would you take as a council member to work toward that solution?
Well, because the city pension plan there has to do with collective bargaining. They are represented, by their union. We'd have to see what contracts are in effect right now, and then where we want to go with it, the type of pension plan that we have in effect, and where we want to go, and then develop a plan as to how to get there. So that would be the steps I would do. Is I would work with at the collective bargaining table to see what needs to be done and where we need to go.
Victor?
Are there any fees that have been put in place by the current government that you would attempt to remove or reduce? And if so, how would you recover any revenue shortfall resulting from such reduction or removal?
Well, one thing, I believe in the environment, so I certainly believe that the stormwater the stormwater fee that was placed on citizens was probably a necessary evil. However, I would look and see how much of a necessary evil that would be, and then I would make a decision whether we might be able to save on that storm water. The most recent one that's a big one is the garbage fee. That fee I would take a look at because it seemed to be something that came upon us as citizens suddenly, and soon we'll be responsible for paying it. I would see if we could recover some costs in that garbage fee, if we could not totally eliminate it. But there's more to that than just those fees, because one of the ordinances adjusted all kinds of fees within the city, and I think this is what came with this. So what was said was something similar to, well, we haven't adjusted permit fees and construction fees and these fees and those fees in a lot of years. And if we're going to make up city shortfalls on the budget within the city, then what we're going to need to do is adjust all these fees. So there are a lot of fees now. If you go to get a construction permit, it might have cost $150 in the past. It's now $200. If you wanted to go get a dog permit, it might have costed $15 in the past. It might cost $20 now. Those, I would take a look at those fees and see if there's a necessary thing, and save the taxpayers in that arena there.
Okay. All right.
All right, in your general view of contracting and granting of a sole source contract for goods and services needed in the city, what is your opinion of that?
Sole source contracting. I think that when we talk about giving a contract to one person, that it can lead into a lot of problems. We can have a lot of problems going to just one person. I think the landfill was one of these items where, as no bidding the contract, it was, hey, we're going to give it to you as a sole source, chill whatever. I'm sure those kind of contracts don't do us right. They don't do the citizen, the taxpayer right. I think that contracts should be bid out, but I would like to say we have a problem when we bid out contracts. We end up saying, well, only the people in town can have those contracts, can bid on those contracts, and that causes another problem, because if only the people in town get those contracts, then they say they may not have the qualifications necessary to fulfill the contract to the best of what we need. So we have a conflict of interest here as to say, do we go sole source within town, or do we just go sole source and get the best qualified contractor for the job? Sole sourcing can lead us down some roads we may not want to take, but I don't think that that should be our first choice, is to sole source, by no means.